Hilary, 25, you are a wife, a mom, actress, singer, songwriter, entertainer, humanitarian, and author. Obviously, we're here to kind of chat with you about True, coming out, the third installment of your books. Tell us a little bit about that and what to expect.
Well, the book is the last in the series, so all the questions and the loose ends get tied up in this one, which is nice because for me, I've been living with this for like 3 years, and it's nice to kind of like close a chapter. But it's just an adventure book. Our three characters are traveling all around the world, and they're running into these big groups of really dangerous people that are kind of after the same thing that they're after. And they've gotten, something's been thrown their way that is so, unnatural that they're just having to like trust it and go with it and confide in each other. And it's a book about trust and friendship and soulmates and what you would do to keep all of that intact in your life. And it's quite complex. So I would definitely recommend reading the series. But it's also about a girl finding herself and her strength.
And how much? Obviously, it's not autobiographical, but like, how much of you kind of filters through? Is Clea the character?
No, I tried not to have too much, but it's tough, because as much as you're using your imagination, you do tend to write a little bit about what you know. And obviously, I know myself the best as a person, so
sure.
The main character definitely has like qualities of mine, and maybe a bit of personality. She's like quite feisty, and she's a bit of a go-getter, and I think those things connect with me.
Now you've done so many different facets of creatively. So what's it like to be a writer expressing yourself in that way as opposed to singing or acting?
It was different. Obviously it's all a creative process. But I'm used to writing, a song or co-writing a song or writing some kind of like a treatment. It's all much shorter, and this one is definitely a more like tedious process, and slow, but very rewarding. You're writing 400 pages, and you've got to keep people on their toes and keep people excited, because this is a very like action-packed book. So the process was challenging, and I had a great co-writer that I worked with who taught me a lot, but it's definitely a lot slower, than being in a studio recording a song or filming a movie where you're on set and bouncing off of other people, for support. This is definitely different.
Is there any possibility of this maybe being option for like movies down the line?
There has, yeah. There's been a bit of interest.
Cool.
Of people wanting to option it, which is, obviously very flattering and exciting. And I can't help but when I'm writing see it like unfolding in a film or
cinematic terms, yeah.
But, I got pregnant and I had a baby, and I'm just like spread a little thin. But I think I always, have seen it that way from the beginning.
Is that something you'd be interested in? Like, say it does come to fruition, you would produce it or oversee it in some way instead of just signing it off, or?
It's hard when you've like written every page of something to sign it off and trust someone with it.
That would be hard.
I would love to like produce. I don't think I'd want to star in it, but there is this character in the second book who's a total badass, and I think I would love to like
that would be fun.
Part or something, do something little. But you know what? Like when you're writing, I've like kind of closed the last book and finished it, and I'm like,
breathe.
I'm like ready for something new because I've been with it for so long.
So what is next? Are there more stories kind of inside your head, new characters that you want to come up with, or do you want to shift gears, more music, acting? What's coming up next for you?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to shift gears. I think for me at the time this was perfect because I was tired of everything and I didn't want to travel anymore. I was meeting my husband and I got married and doing more like this fulfilling life things for me. But I'm getting that itch again. It's like I want to perform and I want to be a part of what I used to be, what used to be my main focus. Which is acting and singing and making a record and performing and doing stuff like that. And I've just got to find a new way of doing it that, that fits into my life now.
Well, I was telling Sabrina that I'd come across Cheaper by the Dozen on cable a couple weeks
Love
ago.
that movie. I have to tell you, it's one of those movies, every time it comes on, I watch it over and over and over and over.
What was it like to work with somebody like Steve
I just
Martin?
filmed the season finale of 2.5 Men with
Awesome.
Austin, and
Fun.
he was obviously in Cheaper, and so
Yeah.
it was great to see him again and work together.
Can you tell me a little bit about Steve Martin, just as somebody who sort of idolizes him, what he was like?
Oh yeah, he's brilliant. He's totally brilliant. He was great. I mean, you know what mayhem that set was? There was
I can imagine.
12 kids running around.
Right.
You know? So it was craziness, but he handled it really well, and kept everybody laughing. But he's funny because he'll just turn it on. When the camera turns on, he's just like instantly everything he does you can laugh at.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
he's not so much that in real life as just a kind of a normal, really easygoing guy
And a writer, too.
Yeah.
who loves to play the banjo.
And a writer.
Banjo for all of us all the time on set.
Sure, and he's written
Oh,
a couple of
that's fun.
books, too. So
Well, you know,
Yes, he has. He's amazing. I love working with him.
well-rounded just like you. And speaking of that, I mean, back to like the personal side in your life, and obviously I've been kind of creeping on your Instagram photos. I mean, he's just adorable. He's perfect. How much fun is he? And you said, I saw a clip of you, I think it was on Ellen, and saying, I watched this morning, saying he walked at 11 months. That's super early.
It's early, I know, and Mike and I, we always feel like we don't want to be those parents that are like bragging about our kid, but he's super physical. He did start walking like right around 11 months, and he's just a really determined dude. So it's so amazing to watch how much they change. So my husband and I, we just went away to Coachella for the weekend.
I saw the pics.
And my mom watched him, and it was the longest time I've been away. And I got back, and I was like, oh my God, he's bigger, and he's walking faster, and his everything has changed. So I'm like, it's tough, it pulls on your heartstrings having a baby.
It happens real fast.
Great and sad at the same time. I don't know why.
Are there more coming?
That I know of, not yet.
Too soon to ask?
But definitely we want more. I mean, we're having just a blast with him.
are there going to be 3 in that series, too?
Right.
I said, are there going to be 3 in that series, too? Just like the book.
No, that's a lot.
So again, if you could sum up what this series of books, with the final one being true, if somebody was looking to start, because a lot of people like to read series of books like this, what it entails? There's romance, there's action. Is that summing up, or is there more to it than that?
Yeah, there's romance, there's action, there's a lot of like world traveling, and if you're into photography, one of Clea's main things that helps her get through is her picture taking, and her dreams kind of like guide her, which is cool. So there's like all this, there's different like facets to it that's like not supernatural, but has this element of excitement that's not like this, from this world. So it's a bit of that too, and
Sounds like a movie to me.
go for your soulmate,
Yeah, it sounds like a
It
movie to
definitely
me.
sounds like a movie.
Well, hey,
That's awesome.
good luck with
I hope so.
good luck with everything that you do. It was a really a pleasure to talk
I've
to you.
enjoyed watching you. Obviously fell in love with little Lizzie McGuire way back when, and just to see everything
Thank you.
unfold for you.
I know.
So,
I'm lucky to have that one under my belt. A lot of people became my fan from that. So.
I mean, and big time. I mean, I can't, I'm 28, so I was like a little beyond, but I couldn't help it. You come on and you just like glued, I mean, so, but I've been a big fan for a long time, and, would certainly, obviously, being in the radio world, would love to hear more music from you, and we're just really excited to see what comes
You
next.
know what's funny is like having a baby. It's like trying to figure out who I'm going to be now.
Yeah.
So, music is definitely my focus, but it's got to be right, because I've taken such a long break, so.